Talks, where we talk taxes and tax-free living 365. Here are your hosts, Craig White, Sebastian Singh, and Patrick Augustin.
And welcome to another great, long overdue episode of TQ Talks, where we talk taxes 365. I'm your host, or one of your hosts, Craig White, and with me is the distinguished Sebastian Singh. How you doing, Bassie?
Thank you guys for joining us. I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. I don't want to say back, but we have been on a slight hiatus.
It's called, that's slight?
Yeah, slight. It's just slight, but we're back.
Yeah.
And we'd like to welcome you guys and thank you for joining us today. We're going to jump right into our TQ Talk of the day.
Yeah, and if you haven't been with us before, our goal here at TQ Talks is to help you to reduce the amount of taxes you may owe or increase your refund by giving you sound financial tax advice. We also help people to get more money in their pockets now rather than later by helping them with little-known life insurance secrets. So again, if you need any of those informations, please, or any of that information, give us a shout, and we'd be happy to help you. But yeah, Bassie, we're back into our topic. What's our topic today?
Yeah, it's your money. We want you to keep it. We don't want to get away from that. And our first topic, as I shuffle papers, which nobody likes. But yeah, we're going to get right to it. The society, at least a lot of people that end up coming to us initially, are...
Ruined by refunds?
Ruined by refunds,
That's
man.
the topic. Yeah.
Ruined by refunds. So we want to get into what that really means. A lot of times people are looking for the largest refund because obviously that's a big check that you want to have. What does that really mean, though? What does a larger refund mean to you, and at what levels? Does it change per demographic or income level? Or what does it mean entirely? Like, why are people ruined by refunds? Why are we naming it that?
We're naming it ruined by refunds. So, listen, we're of ethnic background, right? And so I can only
Proudly.
speak from experience. And in our society, I've noticed, and I think it's more economical, right? All jokes aside, we have this idea that when tax season comes around, automatically we're looking for a refund. Hey, what's the most your tax person, your tax lady, your tax man can get you, right? Instead of trying to even understand taxes at all. And then the first thing people will shout out is, oh, it's so complex. It's not that complex. It's really your viewpoint, right? What you're doing and the purpose of taxes and filing your taxes. It's not a refund. And that's the part where I say it's, for me, I thought ruined by a refund would be great because growing up, we keep thinking a refund is a great thing. And truthfully, as you make more money, you realize a refund is horrible.
Right.
A refund is the worst thing that you could probably get.
Well,
But we don't get it.
you know, before we dive right into exactly what all that means, you said that it, unfortunately, around us, it seems to be money related. But I think a lot of times, or at least the mentality is driven by economic status. But also, it's just the education. Because a lot of times, being from specifically where we're from, the Caribbean, a lot of our parents or grandparents haven't gone through the income tax paying, getting money back system long enough to learn it to then teach us. So we are introduced to it. Listen, I'm always big on this side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of times we're introduced to it by our surroundings and our peers more so than, getting a formal sit down about it.
I'm going to say, yeah, I agree. Here's my issue though, right? People have smartphones.
Right.
And we could spend 14,000 hours on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook scrolling, looking at absolutely nothing.
True story.
But something that's going to change or affect your life, you put zero interest in. And then the excuse, because that's what it is bullshit, excuse my French, is, it's what we're exposed to, and we weren't taught this. It's amazing what you're taught, right? So it's just like language. First thing you learn a new language is what? Cursing.
Bad words.
That's right. You see how easy that is?
Yep.
The negative thing that comes into play is the first thing that humanly we jump to, we gravitate towards, because it's a decision. I say, this is what I want to learn because it seems easier. And that's what it boils down to for me. It's easier. It's easier for us to say, well, that's what we have. And we got 19 signs on the grass that say one kid, $3 million, two kids, $14 million. And that's what we're going to continue to go, instead of ever asking a question, well, why is that kid $6 million? Why is this kid 14? There has to be a reason for that. And why are we surrounded by only the excitement of getting a refund for that time to go right back into the same crap for the next 9 to 10 months of the year? That makes no sense.
Well, let's talk about why that doesn't make sense. Let's talk about those signs. So a lot of times, one, and I point these out to a lot of our clients, is you'll see those signs in the lower income neighborhoods. You'll see them literally on the grass or in the median.
Yep.
Right? So think about the target market.
Yep.
All right? So one. Two, what does that mean? How can people get the maximum amount of credit or money back per child?
That means you didn't make any money.
Right. You need the most help. And this is what, we preach to our clients as well, is the government sees it as if you don't make a lot of money, you need help. You need help to raise your children. You need help to go to school, so on and so forth. If you make more money, you don't need as much help. You will not get the maximum amount of credits for these kids. So these numbers are obviously the maximums and also do not apply to most people.
Right. But you see how systematically it's set up?
It ruins.
Yeah.
It ruins us,
because
right?
they know
we're chasing the refund.
My man. So you know that you will find people, and we've had it, that will continue to say, hey, man, I'm not going to take this raise because, man, they're going to tax my check. And I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to lose that. So you'll walk away from earning an extra $20,000, $30,000 for the year for the goal of getting back an extra $3,000 to $4,000 on your check. And that is amazing to me.
Right. Or doing overtime and asking them to go exempt.
Right.
Right. Which, listen, if you did it, that's fine. Again, we say it all the time, as long as you know what's happening. So in the meantime, you're not paying taxes, which means you're going to have to pay them later.
Right. But the ruin by refund comes into the whole thing you just said. It's that we're still chasing a refund. We're going to use, God, I can't believe it. We're banging. First thing we got to talk about Trump. Well, elections this year, right? So it is what it is. He's always in the hot seat because of the whole, hey, he pays such little. Hey, he pays such little. Now, I want to make sure everybody's clear. I've never said he's getting back a refund.
Oh, good point.
He pays such little. He knows he has to pay. He's reducing the amount he has to pay, and that is his doggone refund. Yet we will earn 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, and still cry.
Correct.
Oh, I can't believe. Oh my God, it's a mentality. That's my problem. It's like at some point, man. At some point, you gotta figure it out.
I know at least with our demographics or our target market or our clients specifically. Once we do explain how the different credits benefit the credits won't really hurt you, but you may not qualify for them, depending on your income level, depending on what you have going on, whether you're W-2, you have a side business, you have 1099s, you're subcontract, whatever your situation is, once we explain it out to our clients, they at least get a good understanding of where they're at now. And then our next conversation is, well, where do you need to head?
Right.
What are your goals? What do you want to do? Are you set up to go that way? And what changes can we make? And how would that affect you?
And at least that's the clients we keep.
Right.
Because we still fire clients. I want to make sure everybody's clear. Like the same way you guys have the option to choose, because God knows there's a plethora, right?
For sure.
The abundance of people who quote unquote do that, whatever. We have the same thing. We fire and hire people the same way.
Correct.
Like I don't want you as my client if after we have that discussion, you still have the same dread or fear or, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Once that happens, then I know that you're still in the same place. And hey, that's cool. You're just not my client. Or I say me because I don't want to be on you or Patrick or anybody else. For me, I can't tolerate that because I know it's not going to change. It's not going to change.
It's definitely a we, and it's not going to change because it's a mentality.
Right.
It's not, to our points earlier, it's not to lack of introduction or lack of education or lack of exposure.
Right.
Because now you've had those.
Right.
So if you continue down, the path that you choose to go down, and that's not a path that we're trying to get towards, then, we may have to split ways.
Right. So without beating on low income, let's go. So the ruin by refund, just to, again, recap, we're talking about income base and how that refund, quote unquote, hurts you. But here's some other factors. One, when you get a refund from the IRS, it's usually because of credits or deductions that Sebastian already spoke about. And it's also a give back. Like when you're reducing your income, the IRS is saying, hey, you overpaid in your taxes if you're a W-2 earner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they're pretty much giving you back the money that you've already given throughout the year.
Correct.
That brings me to the second point. Well, it's a ruin because you've now given the IRS theoretically a bunch of money throughout the year that they've not giving you any interest on, and they're just going to be like, hey, Bassy, thank you so much for letting me borrow this money and put it all in different investments, and here's your money back with no interest. And that's
Zero interest.
Yeah, that's a problem to me, right?
Because not only could you have invested and grown that,
yeah,
but you also could have enjoyed it.
right.
It's
Exactly.
your money.
Yeah. So
It's
I
your
don't.
money.
So I don't like that. You know, again, if you plan it like the last client,
Again, other people they want large refunds. They
Right.
want that one-time check, and they're okay foregoing growing because they also know that they're not losing in
Right.
their mind, right?
and I understand that.
And that's fine as well.
Right.
If that's the goal and we're hitting the goal, then we're all good.
Right.
Then
So,
everyone's good.
and third point, you can actually be ruined by a refund, but still put yourself in a good position. And you brought it up before we turn on the mics, but again, here comes the self-earning, self-employed individuals. Again, this does not mean that you can't work a job. It doesn't mean you can't have a W-2. These are people that say, hey, man, I just don't like seeing this $3 refund or this, it just doesn't make any sense. All right, here's how we planned. Patrick, wherever you are, shout out, Pat. Planning is the part, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. If you know that that's not what you want, but you also don't want to give up money, you said, I think you said withholding, just change your withholdings on your
just
check,
change your withholdings.
right? But if you don't want to do that, then plan. Okay, here's the real estate and small businesses. Those are the people that are going to get the deductions, and that's what we do, is
Right.
to help people to put
We'll
themselves
set
in
you
a
up.
position.
We'll get you going. Exactly.
That's it, man. But guys, the bottom line is don't think of tax season as refund season, even though on most media, funny enough, other people, I'm not going to say their names, but other software companies that advertise a lot, that's one of the biggest things they talk about. It's refund season. And it's like, who they're geared towards.
And that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I don't want to knock anybody, but what I've been focusing a lot on is what is the content that's being given to me during said program, quote unquote, like your TV, like what show are you watching, and then look at the commercials that go with it, right?
Isn't that big?
You'll see other large whatever, but then you also see like a McDonald's commercial with like 40 cents burgers, which is great, right? Like you can eat for very little, but you also won't get the quality that you're looking for.
Right.
And I think that's what they'll be losing as well.
Yeah, and it's a hard cycle. It's a hard thing to get out of.
It is. But either way, I think understanding and knowing what your situation is the biggest thing, and that's what we don't want you to do. We don't want you to be ruined by the refund by just chasing that big number.
Don't chase it. I against my better judgment, I'm going to say, Dave Ramsey always says, because he gets on my nerves, but he says something that is true. He's like, you got to sacrifice.
Right.
Like, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to suffer. He's like, it's one. He always, he gets 1 or 2 years and you got a whole life. And he's right.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we complain about or want to improve on, it requires sacrifice.
Yeah.
And we know you're not going to get a refund for the year or two. You're not going to get this, but it's a small price to pay for the larger picture. But unfortunately, we got those blinders on, and we got to get them off, man. We really got to do better.
We do.
A people.
So hopefully with not only this information, but other information that we give you guys throughout the year, we're able to help you get in a better situation. And if not, if you need some guidance, reach out to us.
You already know, 800-413-1456. Sebastian, you always do the outro, but I don't remember. Something like follow us on all our stuff.
Please follow us on all our social media platforms at TQ Financial Services, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, or Twitter, whatever that may be.
Oh, yeah, because it's X now.
And maybe or maybe not Facebook, but we are working on that.
We got hacked. That's an awesome thing, baby. We hit it.
We're working on it.
Big time. Follow us. No, we're just supposed to do the whole podcast thing. Hey, find us where you get all your podcasts.
Oh, yeah. You can find us on all your podcasting platforms. Please like, share, comment, and reach out to us even on the side and let us know what we could do better or if you've gained from this information.
Yeah, let us know if there's any topics. You guys DM us topics anyway, so that's how we come up with all this stuff. But
exactly.
Hey, we appreciate it. Love you guys. Thanks. We'll see you later.
Thank you for listening to TQ Talks. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and recommend on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information at tqfinancials.com.